Welcome back to our Steam Summer Sale visual novel recommendations, where we dive in deep into Steam's VN catalog to bring you the best deals that we could find. Just a reminder, this is part 2 of our list, so if you haven't checked out the first video, we will leave a link in the description just for you. Go watch that as well after this one. You don't need to watch the first one first, just watch any of them. Whatever. Without further ado, let's get those wallets ready, check out some hot bargains. And if you need some Steam credit or you just want to support us, then check the description where you can purchase some Steam goodness and support us at the same time. And don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell. If you like VNs, it will be the best thing you do today, I promise. Let's start off with Nekonayan, who mostly focus on moege. They are the publisher in charge of Yuzusoft Games, a well-known developer of the genre. All of their titles are quite good, but if we were to recommend just one, it would probably be Sabbat of the Witch, which is 50% off. It is a fun blend of Mahou Shoujo with some lewd and comedic stuff thrown in there for good measure. Senranbanka, 40% off, is another solid recommendation. We did a review of that one a few weeks ago. If you want to know more about it, watch that. But really, if you're into this genre, you can't go wrong with either of their titles. There's also a bundle containing all of their titles, although that may be a little bit overkill to begin with. Another really solid developer whose games are published by Nekonayan is Smee. Their games have a heavier focus on comedy, so if you want to have a good laugh alongside your romance, we recommend checking out their VNs. Their two better known titles are Making Lovers and Furiraba Friends to Lover, both of which are 50% off. The main gist of Making Lovers is that the protagonist is somehow forced to date the girls before either of them are even in love. But as time goes on, they both develop feelings for each other. It's a very good VN for those who don't want to waste too much time on a common route and go straight to the romance. Furirabara is a more straightforward romance story where the protagonist is just fed up with being single and tries his best to get a girlfriend. Aokana is another fantastic VN published by Nekonayan. We have a review for this one over at Switchwatch if you want to see our full in-depth thoughts on it, but rest assured it's a great one. Not only is the comedy and romance excellent, but this title also includes scenes featuring a fictional sport called Flying Circus that's surprisingly quite fun to watch, and must play for those looking for high-quality romance VNs. Instead of a sports-themed VN, maybe you prefer a bit more action, we recommend checking out Hello Lady, which is 20% off. It's quite modest, but anyways, this is one of Nekonayan's latest releases that has been highly praised, particularly for its confident and proactive protagonist. This release also includes its fan disc, making it a fairly robust title in terms of content. Finally, our last recommendation from Nekonayan's catalog will be Kinkoi Golden Loveriche, which is 30% off. This is a VN that received an overwhelmingly positive reception from critics and fans alike. It has a little bit of a twist that we won't spoil here, but it's definitely another great pickup for fans of the moege genre. Moving on to our next publisher, we have Just USA. While you can find most of their offerings on their own website, they also have a few gems on Steam as well. Majikoi Love Me Seriously is one of the better known romantic comedy VNs out there, currently 45% off. The tone of this VN is really lighthearted with plenty of over-the-top hilarious gags, and overall it's a really enjoyable read. It does have some occasional drama to better flesh it out, give it more depth to its main characters, and this is one of those classic VNs with a huge following that's still going strong to this day, so check it out if you want to see what it's all about. The Song of Saya is a horror VN developed by Nitro Plus, and it's one of their most popular titles. This is 50% off. It's fairly short when compared to other VNs that we've mentioned in this video so far, which makes it really approachable for both newcomers and veterans of the genre. Its themes are quite dark and it might have excessively gruesome content for some, but if you're okay with some gore and you want a VN with Lovecraftian influences, don't let this one slip by. You and Me and Her, A Love Story is another title by Nitro Plus, currently 40% off. This time it's going for a romance story, but don't be fooled by its appearance. There's lots more going on with this VN than what it may seem at first glance. It's better not to go into too much detail about this one, but we will have to say if you enjoyed Song of Saya, you should definitely give You and Me and Her a shot as well. We don't think you'll regret it. Our last publisher will be Frontwing, who is not only known for developing VNs, but also publishing titles from other studios. Their most popular series has to be the Grisaia VNs. On Steam you can buy them separately, so we recommend trying out the first one, The Fruit of Grisaia, before you buy all of them. The first entry is quite lengthy on its own, clocking in at 70 hours if you want to clear all the routes, but its character development is some of the best you'll find in the medium, which should be more than enough to motivate you to see it through to the end. This one is also available on Switch, but it has never been discounted on the eShop, so if you want it cheap, this is your time. It's 60% off. Another visual novel developed by Frontwing themselves would be Island. This is a science fiction story with some romance in it as well. There is a lot of unexpected twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end of the story. It is a bit pricey, but if you enjoy deep and well thought out stories, it's a very solid pick. 33% isn't a huge discount, but these drops are few and far between. If you want to see a VN with a focus on philosophical themes, then we strongly recommend checking out Wonderful Every Day Down the Rabbit Hole. It's 50% off. This one is quite the roller coaster and the type of visual novel that uses the medium to its fullest potential. Be warned that things get intense and some really dark and often uncomfortable themes are explored, but if you can stomach that, the payoff is well worth it. Also, do keep in mind that you will need the content patch if you want to progress beyond the first chapter. We can't link it directly since the page contains some naughty stuff, but if you Google Just USA Steam patches, you should be able to find it quite easily. Trust us, you really don't want to play it without it. Otherwise, you would honestly be missing like 80% of the game. Seriously. And to round things up, we have some other VNs by other publishers. Firstly, we have the Muv Luv trilogy, which consists of Muv Luv, Muv Luv Unlimited, and Muv Luv Alternative. They are 50% off. The first two are included in the Steam release of Muv Luv, while Muv Luv Alternative is sold separately. This is a series that starts off as your average slice of life high school romance story, but then turns into a complex sci-fi plot with mechas and aliens. Alternative is often considered to be one of the best visual novels ever made, so if you haven't played it, now is the time to do so. Next up is the Utawarerumono series, which consists of Prelude to the Fallen, 50% off, Mask of Deception, 75% off, and Mask of Truth, also 75% off. The latter two work as a duology, with the first one being a remake of the original 2002 game, although we recommend playing all of them as they are all truly great, especially if you're looking for a fantasy-themed plot. With an epic story, great production values, and really fun strategy gameplay to boot, this trilogy is well worth the asking price, even without a discount. And honestly, the current prices of Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth are ridiculously cheap. The Sekimeiya Spun Glass is a Western visual novel that's very often compared to the classics such as Ever 17 and Remember 11 for its deep sci-fi themes. There are some very clear similarities between those titles, and in some ways it feels like a love letter to them. So if you've already played those and you want something similar, or you want a visual novel with a great mystery to it, then be sure to give this one a try. It is 55% off. And our final recommendation will be Symphonic Rain, which currently has a 70% discount. This one is somewhat similar to Key's works, with a rather subdued and melancholic atmosphere. It also includes some rhythm gameplay minigames to go along with its overall musical themes. Definitely a solid pickup for those wanting a bit more drama in their lives, in a good way though. And those are our last pickups for this year's Steam Summer Sale. Will you be picking them up? Please do let us know in the comments. And until next time, well, first remember to subscribe and watch the part 1 if you haven't already. Yes, take care, have a good one.